Speaking of the holidays, in
Yeah.
case you haven't realized it, it is almost time for the annual Holly Jolly celebration. It benefits Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. It's a holiday program. It highlights a really important cause, children and their families dealing with serious illness and critical care.
That's right. Children like 13-year-old Lex Stolley, who's here with us today. He was diagnosed with high-risk, I need to read this, Lex. High-risk acute lymphoblastic leukemia in September 29th.
Nice job.
Did I get that right?
That was perfect.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's pretty serious. There's not a lot of kids who experience something like what you've experienced.
No.
What was it like when you heard that news?
I mean, it was crazy, and especially as a 10-year-old body, you know, little brain hearing this, little kid who's in 5th grade, and I think it was definitely crazy. And I mean, I never even knew what cancer was before. I always thought that was something that had affected even, you know, older people.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was definitely shocking.
So what was going on with you? I mean, did something happen that led you to go to the hospital to begin with, to kind of get checked out?
Yeah, so there were so many problems. Like they noticed there was fluid buildup around my heart and around my lungs. I was not eating as much as I normally was. I felt tired. I was losing a bunch of weight. Just a bunch of little problems like that that ultimately led to my diagnosis.
Well, Children's Healthcare of Atlanta is pretty amazing.
Yes, they sure are. Yeah,
Talk about that experience, like going there and what it was like.
Yeah, so Children's Healthcare of Atlanta has been incredible. I mean, like, even from the start of my diagnosis to now, every time you walk in there, there's a bright smile, very supportive, very loving. It's incredible to work there.
What's your relationship like with Children's? Because what I've experienced is people who go to Children's are treated, whether, you know, no matter what their outcome is, there's like a relationship. It seems like it's going to be there for life. Is that something that you've experienced as well?
100%. I mean, every time you walk in those doors, you know, you have this connection with the staff and the crew, and then even it's like a lifelong relationship when you see those people. It's like you really you do remember them. It's
So
awesome.
you are in the, what, 8th grade?
8th grade,
8th grade.
yes.
So I bet you missed a bunch of school. And how much time did you spend up there at Children's?
There was most certainly a lot of time missed, many months missed of
Right.
school, catching that up. But my school was great about it, and I was able to do, you know, Zoom and Zoom into my class and catch up a little bit on the work. But it was definitely, you know, definitely hard spending so much time there.
Yeah, chemotherapy and all of that. What did you
Yes.
go through?
So I went through, originally they said a 3-year plan, but it ended up being 2.5 years due to updated research from Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. But I had 10 months of intense chemotherapy, which was weekly. And then, so that was really painful. And every time we go to the hospital or get a fever, I'd, you know, have to stay there. And then it moved to 2.5 years of less chemo.
Who is that?
That's my mom there.
That's your
Yes,
mom.
that sure
Because I was
is.
going to say, big shout out to your parents who are here with you today, because this, you know, your diagnosis didn't just impact you, it impacted your whole family, right?
For sure.
It must have been tough on your parents and your sisters.
Yes.
Right?
It definitely was. I mean, my sisters had to get rides to sports and activities.
How do you maintain your attitude? Because I'm seeing pictures who clearly where you're in the midst of your treatment and you mentioned that it was painful, and yet here you are smiling as well. You seem to have a great maturity and perspective about you. That's not something commonly found in 13-year-olds, let alone ones who've had to go
That's right.
years of treatment.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, my slogan my entire journey was be positive and flex your faith. And so even though my blood type is B positive, so I tried to maintain that throughout my journey and really, you know, take it one day by a time and think like even when I was at the lowest, like there's someone going through something worse, and make the best of each day.
I don't think that's a coincidence, be positive.
Was your faith, how much did that impact you and your journey?
Oh, my faith impacted so much. I mean, like I just like totally grew with myself, and I learned so much about myself just sitting in a room with my mom and I, and even my dad and stuff. We just really connected, and I learned so much about that. And just being in a room by yourself, you figure out so much about who you are, what you believe in. It was incredible.
That's right. Well,
really
you are
cool.
just an amazing young man. And we can say you're in remission. You are cancer-free right now.
I sure am. Yes.
And you finished up what? Early?
January of 2022.
That is something to celebrate, certainly. Thanks so much for being here, Lex.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We match, too.
Love the suit. Love that suit.
All right. The Holly Jolly celebration is happening this Saturday. It's December 3rd, 11 a.m. at Colony Square. It is all to benefit Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Come on out and join us on the square. You can watch live, too, on Peachtree TV or the Atlanta News First streaming app. Rob and I are going to be out there.
Yeah, we look forward to that.
I know. It's going to be so
a
much
lot
fun.
of really happy and positive people.